Donald Trump, the 45th president of the US, was like no other president in the USA's history. He was not an agent of the infamous war-thirsty deep state. He was not a part of the party media nexus. And he was not a friend of the establishment that he inherited when he came to power. Instead, Trump said it as it is. He spoke against wars, unnecessary wars that claimed several American lives. He spoke against rampant illegal immigration and started building a wall. He spoke against terrorism unabashedly and put America first above all else. This makes him an extraordinary leader. And you know who else thinks so? Vladimir Putin, who, despite the differences and sanctions imposed in Russia by the Trump administration, has a lot to praise about his former American counterpart. And what about Biden? Well, nothing good. Now the question is, has Biden not been humiliated enough? Well, Putin is not done yet. In fact, he's just getting started. As Biden embarrassed himself at the G7 meeting, a greater embarrassment awaits with Russia, which is poised to have a diplomatic meeting with the US soon. Hi and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Diksha, and in this video, I will tell you about all the things that Putin has to say about Biden and Trump. Let's begin. Russian President Vladimir Putin is now confronting Joe Biden's hostility more directly and categorically. In his first interview with an American news network since 2018, Putin showered praise on Trump and called him an extraordinary individual, while dismissing Biden as a career man. Putin's remarks come less than 2 weeks before the crucial Biden-Putin summit in Geneva. Meanwhile, Moscow has also ended an MOU with the US that facilitated the travel of diplomats around each other's countries. In his interview, Putin told NBC News, "I believe that former US President Mr. Trump is an extraordinary individual, talented individual, otherwise he would have not become US President." The Russian president added, "He is a colorful individual. You may like him or not. But he didn't come from the US establishment. He had not been part of a big-time politics before. And some like it, some don't like it, but that is a fact." Putin, however, did not have very kind words for Biden. The Russian president described him as more of an establishment politician. Putin said that Biden is radically different from Trump because President Biden is a career man. He has spent virtually his entire adulthood in politics. The Russian president added, "That's a different kind of a person, and it is my great hope that yes, there are some advantages, some disadvantages, but there will not be any impulse-based movements on behalf of the sitting US president." Putin's also had no qualms in admitting how the US-Russia ties have deteriorated after Biden's accession to power. He said, "We have a bilateral relationship that has deteriorated to its lowest point in recent years." In fact, the Russian president was also dismissive about Biden-led propaganda against the Putin administration. The Russian president chuckled when NBC's Keir Simmons asked if he was a killer, in an apparent reference to Biden's infamous killer remark about Vladimir Putin. Putin also denied the allegation of ransomware attacks which the Biden administration had traded to Russia. With his critical remarks, Putin has sent across a loud and clear message to Biden. "You're not going to have it easy when we meet in Geneva." In fact, Russia has also given a tough signal by ending a 1992 MOU that allowed American and Russian diplomats to tour their host countries simply upon a notification without seeking permission. Russian Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin reportedly signed an order nullifying the Russian-US Memorandum of Understanding on open ground that facilitated travels for diplomats in each other's countries. The intention to end the MOU was first announced by the Russian Foreign Ministry in April, and it was unveiled as a part of Russian government countermeasures to hostile US actions. As per Xinhua, Mishustin has asked the Russian Foreign Ministry to inform the US side about the termination of the 1992 MOU. The termination of the historic MOU is a huge setback for Joe Biden. It shows how the sitting US president is virtually clueless on the subject of handling Russia. The Russian-US Memorandum of Understanding on open ground rarely represented the post-Cold War era in which there were some signs of cooperation between the two world powers. Till the time Trump was in power, Russia was still showing signs of cooperating with the US on essential matters. But Biden has botched up Washington's Russia diplomacy. Biden keeps annoying Putin by interfering in Russia's internal matters, calling him a killer and reigniting the Russia-Ukraine conflict and dragging Syria into bilateral discussions. Putin, however, is not the one to stay quiet, and he has responded by ending a historic MOU between the two sides.